Welcome back to another episode of Convos with Kev. We are here on campus at San Diego State. Real quick, just want to wish everybody, all my friends and family, a happy, good Juneteenth. Um, Today's guest is a member of this Final Four team. Highly requested, highly recruited, and highly respected all over the Mountain West. Today's guest is Miles Byrd.
Sir.
With the watermelon, man. Yes,
sir.
Sir.
Man, I have some eats with me, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you for this opportunity, brother.
Of course.
My man. How you
Of course.
doing today?
Great. No, I'm excited for the podcast. I see my teammates did it, Ryan and Kay,
Yes, sir.
so thought I'd join in on the wave, man.
I got you,
Show some
brother.
love.
Got you, man.
Yes, sir.
You know, they call you the savior, bro. All over Twitter. You know, I be tapped in with the Aztec fan base.
Okay.
You know, everybody leaving. All eyes were on you.
Yeah.
And you gave that announcement. We locked in.
Yeah. No, just seen some tweets saying stuff about they think I was leaving because Elijah leaving. Like, nah, I just wanted to reiterate to everybody that San Diego's where I love. I'm gonna stay here and I'm ready to get to work.
Yes, sir, bro. Yeah. You know, any thought going to that decision? Was it real easy? Was it difficult?
I didn't even think there was really a thought of me leaving. I knew what my teammates were gonna do what was best for them, and I thought what was best for me was staying here. Been here 2 years, working my way up the line, so it just didn't make sense to me to leave and maybe go somewhere where I wasn't a good fit, and I feel like I'm a good fit here, so thought I'd just stick with it.
Yeah. Sure is, bro. Did you hear from any other schools?
No. I didn't even if they were trying to reach out.
I didn't entertain that.
I wasn't going to entertain anything like that. I just wanted to let everybody know on Twitter. I seen some worrying, so I just wanted to make sure it's all good. Make sure everybody know I'm an Aztec.
Hell yeah, brother. All right, we're gonna take a little break from this interview to give a little shout out to our sponsors, Seek Jesus Co. at Seek Jesus Co. on Instagram. You can also go on their website for merch, seekjesus.co. If you're a follower of Christ and you want to give praise to the good Lord above by supporting some merch, Seek Jesus Co. is the perfect brand to support. They just restocked on some new fitness wear. Like I said, I just got some sweats. Pretty cool with the navy blue. Let's say this midnight navy. But yeah, very comfortable, nice and supportive during my sets and my workouts. If you're an athlete, highly recommend to work out in this brand. You go to seekjesus.co and put in the discount code Convos. That's CONVOS. Convos for 25 off your purchase. Thank you so much. And let's get back to this interview. With everybody leaving, you know, the obvious answer from an outside looking in was like the NIL. Mm-hmm. You know, you had Micah going to a Power 5 school. You had Elijah going to a Power 5 school. You had Lamont going to the Power 5 school. Mm-hmm. With NIL nowadays, do you see a lot of players kind of like seeing their value or
I think it's a mixture of that, but with them, there was also other factors into making their decision to leave. And you know, I'm not gonna put whatever they have going on blast. So you know, I respect whatever they did with their decision. I know they're gonna kill it wherever they end up at. So hopefully, I see all. Who was it? Mike, and E. Those are three that left. I hope I see all three of them in the NBA one day. Yes, all three of us, you know, living our dreams together. That would be something really cool and dope to see.
You know, a little side note. Speaking of NBA, former teammate Kashad entering the draft.
Yeah,
draft next week. You know, good luck to Kashad in the draft process.
Yeah.
Now, how was it playing with him for your freshman year?
Kashad was one of them guys that you definitely call big brother. You know, he gives tough love. You know, there's a lot of times where he's on you, making jokes about you. You know, you got to take it on the chin and know he's doing it all out of love, and that's his personality.
Real Oakland.
Yeah, real Oakland, definitely. Keshad's definitely my brother, and I'm excited. I'm tuned into the draft. You know, this year's draft, anything could really happen. I mean, I don't think there's any of those. Like normally, there's a top 10 that's stuck in stone.
No one really
top
knows
10.
The first pick.
You don't know who's the first pick. You don't know who could be the 30th pick. Like, for all you know, Keshad could slide up. I'm definitely gonna be tuned into the draft. I can't wait to hear his name called. Hopefully that happens.
Yes, sir. Speaking of the Gay area,
area.
You grew up not too far from there. The real 209 Troop, Stockton,
California.
Stockton. Deadly Stockton.
Stockton, California.
Man, how's it growing up there, bro?
It's good. I think
Really?
outside looking in.
Okay.
Outside looking in, you see crime rate or whatever, but
Right.
I think one of my biggest takeaways from Stockton is just the diverse culture there. I feel like you got a little bit of everything in Stockton. One thing I love about Stockton is the Mexican food there. I think sorry, San Diego, I think it's got the best Mexican food in all of the West Coast, in my opinion.
No,
I'm probably a little bit biased.
Yeah.
Grew up going to taco trucks. I feel like my school, I had seen a stat somewhere that we had, they had like percentages of like race at my school, and there was I think 30% Mexican, maybe 15% black, 20% white, and then another percentage of a lot of other races. So it's like I grew up in a very diverse area, which has allowed me to kind of be able to connect with people in San Diego and other cities really well, just because I've seen and I've dealt with every single type of person.
Good Stockton, bro. Shoot, I'll probably never visit. I'll drive by.
Go get you a little El Maíz taco truck burrito, man.
That's the spot.
It'll change your life. It'll change your life. You never look at this Mexican
on the
down here.
gram. Shout out the gram.
Shout out. I don't even know if they got a gram, but El Maíz taco truck.
That's how you know it's good.
Fresh off of March Lane.
Yeah.
Go get you a carne asada super burrito. Everything on it.
That's how you know it's good. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know type. It's just like if you see it, you see it. If you ate there, you ate there.
Now talking about growing up, I ask my guests this all the time. Who's that like first person to invest in you in this game? Who's that first person to put the ball in your hand and be like, "Yo, Miles, you got something special. Like, keep going at it."
There's a lot of people just because my dad played basketball, so I grew up around a lot of basketball. My dad was a Division I coach all my life growing up, so there's probably a bunch of names I could throw out there that encouraged me to be a basketball player, told me I was going to be a good one, and really had that trust in me since I was young. I want to say maybe when I was 7 or 8 years old, he ended up being an assistant with my dad at Pacific. He's now an assistant at Boise State. Coach Byrd.
Oh, really?
He gave me my first scholarship offer. It was just a joke. I was out recruiting with my dad. He's like, you ever want? At the time he was at San Diego. He's like, if you ever want to come to USD, like, you're welcome here. Right. So I think that's one of the first memories I have of like talking to a college coach and like feeling like, oh wow, I could play college basketball someday. But I've had multiple conversations with plenty of my dad's friends, plenty of people from Stockton, and just all in NorCal that's like told me and invested in me since I was young and told me I could be a player one day. I always hear that. You could be a player one day, but you got to work if you want to be an NBA player or whatever you want to be in the future. So never really listened to the could, and you have potential, and I've always just tried to maximize myself and myself as a player, really. Yeah.
Man, shout out to Pops and his connections,
bro. Yeah.
Speaking of Pops, he played at Villanova, had a good, nice little pro career overseas. A little bit. He had a little short stint in the States. How was it? How did it feel to get an offer from Villanova?
My recruitment process with Villanova was like very slow paced, and I talked to the associate head, who's now the head coach at Buffalo, a good amount. Coach George Helkovich. It's funny. Like, I don't remember what he might have had a uncle or someone was on the staff when my dad was a player there. So when he was a kid, he remembers my dad being a player there. Like, him and my dad had a relationship when my dad was there. So it's like I'm getting recruited by a dude who's known my dad for a very long time. Yeah. My dad's known him for a very long time. So it's like it feels like I'm getting recruited by family almost. Right. But I've just me personally, I just thought I had to go my own route, and I'm a California kid, and I always tell everybody like I didn't really see myself leaving California. So all my recruitment process, I was going to be on the West Coast wherever I ended up at.
So it wasn't really that hard of a choice to kind of decline.
No, not really.
But it was an honor to definitely. Yeah, definitely. For sure.
Talked to Jay Wright a bunch of times. I had some great conversations with him. He still texts my dad here and there. Oh, that's cool. Like, he watched the game or whatever, and he likes what I got going on. So still hear from them a lot, and it's still family over there.
Highly respected coach, Jay Wright.
Definitely. Wow. Great name.
Man. We're going to keep it Bay Area, bro. 209, I mean, just off my personal experience with, like, people from there, I usually go for a good –
Elijah.
Nah, we're keeping this in the pod.
I was say.
We'll keep this in the pod.
Good Elijah. Hey, I'm gonna call you in a little bit. I'm on a podcast right now.
Big E. I was trying to get you on, baby Blake. Baby Blake.
I'm gonna hit you in like an hour or two.
Yep.
All right.
And shout out Elijah.
It looked like he just finished practice down there or something. So yeah, no, that's my guy.
Shout out Elijah.
Yeah,
Man.
shout out E.
Almost had him. You'll zoom in if you watch it. We'll zoom in.
You'll see who it was.
But back to being from 209 Bay Area. Off my personal experiences with people I've known out there, usually go the Kings route. Mm-hmm. He was always a Warriors kid.
Yeah, no. My dad grew up in the Bay Area. He was born East Coast, moved to the Bay Area when he was very young. So he was Warriors growing up. And then me, there was a time where I lived in the Bay Area because my dad was at USF coaching. This was maybe like preschool, kindergarten time. So just now getting into sports a little bit, watching TV. My dad's a coach, so I'm starting to love basketball. So I think Warriors was just the route I chose. And then maybe 5th grade, we had got reached out to. There was somebody on the Warriors that we knew. She played basketball at UOP, and she reached out to my dad like, yo, Miles want to be a part of this one thing we're trying to do, which was dub the vote, because NBA players can't technically endorse themselves to be all-stars. So
at the time,
yeah. I don't know what the rule is now. I don't know if they still can't or what, but they had a bunch of little kid lookalikes for all the guys on the Warriors. They were trying to get to the All-Star game, and I was Kid Curry. And, you know, Steph is probably one of the biggest out of the 6 that were being endorsed. So I ended up doing multiple videos with them, trying to get him to be an all-star. They brought me back when he won the Kia NBA Player Award, which was like basically like the best guy outside of that league, what he does off the court and stuff like that. So I helped out with that. And then 8th grade year, since I had already been in contact with them, stuff like that, Kaiser Permanente had a commercial for Steph that I was a part of. So I had multiple run-ins with Steph Curry. I interviewed him, so met him. After that, I've always been a Warriors fan, and that was before the dynasty. So no one say I'm a bandwagon. You can't do that.
Sure not.
But yeah, no, I had my run-ins before everything that ended up happening later. It was pretty cool.
Talk about the dynasty. I mean, growing up,
great.
Warriors weren't. I mean, yeah, you had the Weeb Elite team, which is fire.
Yeah.
But Steph and Clay get to cooking, draft Draymond.
And I'm in love with KD too. So when KD signs, after that, it's raps. You know, and my dad has connections in the NBA, so we were able to get tickets to pretty much all those series with LeBron. We either would be able to get a game 1 or a game 2 ticket, and the game 1 or game 2 was always in the Bay because the Warriors were the best team in the league. So there was, and it's crazy to say, but it might have been, I forget what year. It might have been middle school time, and the first game of the finals was our last day of school, and my dad's like, yo, like, we're going to the game, I was like, nah, like, my friends are having the end of the school year, like, having the end of the school year party, like, I don't want to miss that. And I really turned down game 1 of that series against Bron and all that to go to after the last day of school party at one of my friends' house, which was like a big old barbecue. We used to, all the families would go and stuff, and I turned it down for that. So that's one memory I'll never forget. I don't know why I did that. I love my boys, but like, love my boy. I had FOMO at the time. I think I just didn't want to miss out hanging out with all the guys. Pops took my sister. So it's like, my sister got to brag about being at the game. I ended up going to maybe game 2 the next year or whatever, but I've been to those final series. But yeah, I probably should have gone to that game 1.
Nah, I think, I mean, you still a kid. You got
good decision.
Get those experiences.
Definitely.
That's like dudes, high school kids, like, or Mikey Williams, like, I'm not going
to prom. That was too much. That was too much. Like, go to prom.
Yeah, go to prom.
Definitely go to prom.
So we get to the AAU days. You know, growing up, you talk about middle school. Basically, everybody on I've interviewed from NorCal, and we talk about the West Coast Elite. You was also a part of West Coast Elite.
Definitely. Shout out Ryan Silver.
Yeah, shout out Ryan Silver. I always share my take. There's too many West Coast Elite teams. You know, there's teams
branching out. You know, they got probably 10 locations now.
I think there's gonna be one in Arizona.
Yeah.
And talk about your experience at West Coast Elite, man.
I feel like I was really, when I locked in with West Coast Elite, which was going into my sophomore year, that's kind of the summer where, like, before that, hoop was not my main priority. I was a baseball player. I loved baseball.
Heard you were nice.
And yeah, no, my best sport, I was probably better at baseball at the time than I was basketball. And I just didn't have the love for baseball. So at this point, I'm talking to my dad. I'm like, yo, I want to lock in with basketball. So I'm playing with a team in Stockton called Port City. My high school coach he ran Port City. So I was playing with Port City during middle school. This was before he was even at my high school. And I realized, like, if I wanted to take this next step with basketball, I probably got to get to one of the circuits, like whether that be Soldiers, whether that be Chuck Hayes, who was an Adidas team at the time.
I think Cade was on Chuck Hayes.
Yeah, definitely from Modesto or like Oakdale area, so they all played that. But I was like, I got to find a team, and my dad liked what West Coast Elite had going on at the time, so I ended up going to West Coast Elite. I played 15 UAA. There was 2 UAA teams. Fun experience. You know, I made a bunch of friends in the Bay Area. One of my best friends, Aiden Mahaney, I met through West Coast Elite. So it's like definitely built great relationships over there.
You two had a battle in high school.
Oh
my goodness.
I don't even want to talk about it. That game makes me still mad to this day. He still talks about it. Like, really? Yeah.
I think you had a good game. You know?
No, I played good. But you know, they beat us. They beat us on a game winner. On a game, it was a missed layup that somebody came and put back. And
that's
like,
the worst way to go down.
We had the ball. We stopped playing because we hear a horn. We thought it was a game horn. It was a shot clock horn. And there was 3 seconds left. They throw it out. They end up missing the wide open layup. Someone comes and puts it back, and they win. And it was in Stockton. So Aiden's talking to the crowd. Like, I hated it for like the next year. Like, but like great connections to West Coast Elite. Met a lot of people in SoCal too, because at the time it was mostly just NorCal and SoCal, West Coast Elite.
Right.
So we're playing against the SoCal team my 15th year. One thing about SoCal's gonna have the bigs. NorCal don't ever have bigs for real. So I think they're starting to get some bigs now out of NorCal, but at the time we had no bigs in NorCal. So
we're just running.
And I'm basically guarding the 5 for them, who's like a 6'9" African kid or a 6'10" white boy from J. Sarah or something, like one of them guys that's like
cold.
We're struggling, so SoCal always had the upper hand on us, and then you know as I started to get higher and higher, West Coast Elite started branching out more and more, but I'm forever grateful for the opportunities that Ryan Silver, you know, made an opportunity for me, and I feel like I was one of the driving forces to put my name out there in the first place. So forever grateful for West Coast Elite, and definitely remember and will forever remember my time there.
Shout out Ryan Silver.
Shout out Ryan Silver, man.
RP Earl Watson Elite.
Okay, yeah, Earl Watson Elite. That's what you play, right?
Yep.
Earl Watson.
We had who we had, bro? Oscar Lopez is cold.
I was about to say he was probably my favorite from that team, dude. I remember like choosing the AU team, and I'm seeing his highlights, and it's like, who is this dude Duncan's talking crazy and all that? It's like, I like what they got going on over here. Yeah, so they had, I think, Nico and Josh on that same team or whatever.
Josh, we have Cassius.
Yeah, no, they had.
SoCal got the best hoopers.
Yeah, they had it going. NorCal definitely got some stuff.
Y'all definitely got
some stuff.
I think Cali got the best hoopers. Period.
Definitely, just because we really have 2 parts of California. Like it was almost unfair. Like it's 2 different states. NorCal. If you're from NorCal, you don't claim SoCal, and if you're from SoCal, you don't claim NorCal.
Right. Now going back to Aiden, this dude left St. Mary's, and knowing that you guys had a friendship already, I'm on the outside looking in. I'm like, if Aiden comes here.
Yeah, everybody thought that was gonna be something.
What? That was tough.
It was never really formed into anything.
Right. It was just a homie coming to kick it.
You know, me and him went to Cabo right when the season ended for spring break. We went on spring break. So me and Aiden went to Cabo, and we flew out of San Diego. Me, him, and Cam. So he basically came down 2 or 3 days early, and we were kicking it, working out before we go, just because we knew we weren't going to be able to hoop out there. I don't even know if they have any gyms out there, basketballs out there for us to like really hoop in. So
straight black top.
Yeah, like straight black top and probably like rubber balls. I don't know what we had going on, but we was in the gym working out, and I think that built up a lot of hype around whether or not he was coming here. But I think UConn's gonna be a great opportunity for him.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a great opportunity for him.
UConn. again.
Out of all schools, it's
Right?
funny that it's
Yeah.
UConn.
That was
It's
real
funny that it's
ironic when I
UConn.
saw that post. I said, dude. Honestly, when he went on his visit and posted it, I said he's going there.
Yeah, no.
It just looked good.
Yeah, no,
It
it was
looked
a
good.
fit.
Pause, but it looked good on
It was
him.
a fit.
For sure, dude.
It was definitely the
From
fit.
Kobe's?
Yeah. And Kobe PEs.
Yep. Who's the hardest player you had to guard growing up? Besides Aiden.
That's hard. I mean, like, cause like where I'm from, you playing a lot of guys that nobody knows about or names that aren't really known that are good.
I think I had Ryan. Sorry to cut you off. I had Ryan. I asked that Ryan question, and yeah, I told him give a shout out, give a spotlight. I'll give you the same floor.
And it's funny. It's still my guy. You know, we played against each other this year. He went to Long Beach State. Okay. We went to a Fresno tournament, and like normally, like if I'm playing against somebody, they're shorter than me. We went to a Fresno tournament. We're playing against Hoover High, and a dude named AJ George, who was at Long Beach State. He just I think transferred to SMU. Me and him, we played in like a fall league. This is like a fall league. We played against him. I'm like, okay, he's good. Like, I think he gets a fast break dunk, one of the first plays of the game. I'm like, okay, let me lock in. Like, I haven't had experience this yet. Let me lock in. Okay. And then we ended up playing them later in a Christmas tournament in Clovis. So played against him twice. You know, he was really good in high school, and he's still good. So I think I'm gonna have to give AJ George that shout out. I mean, I've probably guarded some really good guys. Like I played against El Marco Jackson, who's now at Kansas and UAA, and guys like that in the circuit. But if I had to just give a shout out to a dude who name's probably not as much on the mat, I'd say AJ George. You know, we had two good battles in high school, and I'm happy to see him make it out and now be at a high major school. Man. Yeah.
Shout out to you, bro.
Yeah.
What about college level? Some names.
Cam Spencer.
Yeah.
I'd say probably Cam Spencer. I think he was really the one because I here at State you have to value defense, and like I've over the past 2 years really locked in on that and value defense. Like I feel like that's one of my best aspects as a player right now. When we played UConn, Cam Spencer did not stop moving the whole entire game, and then like. I remember getting him trapped in the corner one play. He hit me with like a double cross. I jumped to one side. I'm like, oh shit! Like, whoa! What did he just hit me with? I hear their bench making noise. I'm like, whoa! Let me lock in real quick. I didn't thought I was gonna be able to just strip the ball from him. Like, I guess I didn't buy in on the hype or anything. Like, he's been hooping the whole year. Let me chill out. Let me give him some space and actually lock in and set my feet real quick.
Goodness, man.
Yeah, nah,
that was really the away game for y'all.
Yeah, I mean, we were in Boston. It felt like a UConn home game. I remember Caravan came down and hit 2 deep threes to start the game. I'm like, oh, we're in for one tonight, aren't we? Like, you're hearing the crowd is crazy.
Bro, I'm actually coming down from Los Baños, 209. I'm actually coming down. Got the little projector on my phone. I'm I-5. Halftime hit. I'm like, yes. All right, cool.
We got a chance. We're still in.
Like, all right, cool. But I remember the Colorado State game. It was a little shaky, but it'll tail 2 halves.
We locked in.
11 points in the second half for Colorado State. Sorry about y'all. But close game. I'm like, please don't let this be a tail 2 halves.
Yeah. Yeah, nah, they
But it's UConn.
Flex their muscles. I mean, they're good.
Nothing against it.
Dan Hurley, he knows what he's doing.
For sure.
They've been good. I like to tell everybody whenever they try to say something about how you guys didn't beat. We're 13 in UConn. I seen that somewhere. Like they won the national championship back-to-back years, and they're the only team that's beat us in the tournament. So it's like we're doing something right, obviously.
You're getting beat by the best.
Getting beat by the national champion. Right. So yeah, that's what I will say about it.
That's
yeah, haven't lost to anybody else.
Right. I want to consider y'all a rival. I don't know why. I'll stir that pot. Let Twitter talk about that. But no, I think a non-conference. Later on in the years, don't gotta be during your playing time, but I feel like that could be a potential home and home game for San Diego State to get y'all quad ones
early in the year.
Definitely. So, bro, we go back to your high school years at Lincoln. You was a guy there at a young age,
sophomore year. I was most guys. I feel like who have like dreams of being Division I players. Most of them play varsity all year.
Right.
I was JV. I was like the 7th guy on the roster in JV my freshman year. And it was really something that like Lincoln had done. They just didn't really believe in bringing freshmen up to varsity,
Right.
which, I mean, if the coach who coached me from sophomore to senior year was there, I probably would have played varsity. Might not have played a lot, but gotten the experience of being on varsity. But yeah, he came my sophomore year, and yeah, no, I was able to build myself as a player, not only a player but as a leader. Like, you know, we're playing against good guys, good teams. My coach never ran from smoke. We were always playing against good teams and good tournaments, so you had to be ready to play. Right. And I think that's something that prepared me for the next level.
And I think there's a handful of programs that I think do that, unless you're like one of them ones for real.
I at the time, like I said, I was taking baseball serious. Right. Baseball was my number one sport, and I hadn't really locked in basketball until that summer going into my sophomore year, where I was like, okay, let me go play for an AAU team in the Bay Area where I can maybe get my name out.
The real Kaepernick, second Kaepernick right here. Turning down baseball, man.
Yeah.
209 don't like baseball, but I'm sorry about it.
No, we do.
Baseball and softball, y'all.
And like,
that's y'all stuff.
Delta College is in Stockton. That's where a lot of my guys go right now, and like they're notorious for being top 4 JUCO baseball team in California every year. Like they're going to the state championship every other year. One of my best friends' dad is actually the head coach there. So it's like they've been good for a very long time. We have the Stockton Ports, which is I literally got the logo tatted on my leg, the little S. It's mostly because like a memory growing up is like those were the most fun games to go to. Like you go there for like a little league day where like all the little leagues would end up going there. You go there for like to tailgate with some family friends and go to the game. We'd always go to the 4th of July game where they'd have the fireworks. So like going to that ballpark was always a fun memory for me. So thought I'd give some honor by getting on my leg.
Sure. Yeah. So getting to basketball serious, you get 12 points a game your sophomore year. COVID year hits. You're averaging 19. I think y'all played maybe 13 games that year.
8.
Yeah. 8. See.
Yeah.
And then you hit 17 your senior year. You always been like that scorer?
Not really. I mean, like I feel like during those 8 games, my 19 points per game was definitely it helped me out playing 8 games. You know, it's always going to be a little bit weighted, and I played really good at those 8 games just because I had been in the gym. Not even in the gym. I was in the front yard with my dad during COVID.
Much to do,
Front yard, we brought the hoop out to the front yard. My mom would sit there with like a little White Claw or a Truly or one of them little drinks. My sister would be right next to her. We had like some of the family friends would walk over, and I would be out there with my dad sometimes up to 2 to 3 hours a day, like just working on my game, knowing that when all this blows past, the work will show. That's what I always told myself. The work's going to show when all this blows past. So I stayed ready and ended up helping me out in the long run. Yeah.
You didn't take COVID for granted.
No, that's what I say. Like a lot of people say COVID was the worst part of their life, and like there was so much death during COVID. So rest in peace to anybody who lost family. Condolences to anybody who lost family during COVID. But for me, COVID was really like a beneficial thing because it allowed me to just not worry about school and distraction and just really just focus on my end goal, which is to play Division I basketball at the time.
I'm glad it worked out for you, bro.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, I had one of the best people to be locked down with, which was my dad at the time, who was 18-year Division I coach. So it's like he's putting me through workouts. He's doing ball handling. West Coast Elite actually did a good job during COVID. Like we'd be on Zooms as a big old group, and they'd be taking us through ball handling stuff. We'd be doing some like yoga on Zoom, like always with the camera off though. Always with the camera off though.
Oh, bro. When I first got out here, or before I got out here, because I got recruited during COVID to San Diego Christian. Zoom workouts, you know, I signed my LOI. Cool. I could finally get the link to the Zoom workouts. It wasn't even ball handling, bro. It was really just like weights. All right, everybody get a basketball. But no, we're not dribbling it. We're doing sit-ups.
I'm like,
You turn your camera off. All right. That's another minute. I'm like, hey, turn your camera on.
Nah, them
The
Zoom
Zoom workouts
workouts.
was different for
COVID,
sure.
it brought a lot out of people. Like we was trying everything in the world to be creative. Like
Definitely invest into that Zoom stock right there.
definitely.
But before you head to college, you came down here for a Torrey Pines tournament your senior year, and you see your future coach, your future teammates. But all before that, the recruitment process. You had Minnesota, you had a Mount West team, Colorado State, you had Cal Poly,
New Mexico.
you had New Mexico, Villanova, as said earlier. You had the top 8. How did that decision play in your hand?
I think I had a great support cast to make that decision. You know, I'm always gonna listen to what my mom says, and my dad, being a guy who's gone through the recruiting process and also been someone to recruit players.
Yeah.
He's able to tell like what's real and what's not. And but in the end of the day, it all came down to gut. You know, it was hard turning down St. Mary's just because, you know, Aiden was one of my best friends. It's close to home. But I just thought that if I wanted to get where I wanted to go, I gotta weigh all those options. And like came to a time where I was getting the recruitment. I had the top 8. Really came down to the top 4, which was St. Mary's, San Diego State, Colorado State, and Washington. And I told all the coaches that were recruiting me that I'm gonna go ghost for about 2 to 3 days. I'm gonna lock in with my family, and we're gonna make a decision. So like you said earlier before the podcast, like I made my decision in less than a month from my visit here. Yeah. It was really just like I was over the recruitment process. I had been going through it for maybe a year at that time, so I wanted to weigh my options and come down with my family and make a decision. And I felt like San Diego State was a school that checked all the boxes for the next level. You know, becoming a better defender, being in California, the weather, the school, the fan base, the history. There was so much behind it, but it was such a simple decision. In the end of the day, like looking back on it, like I probably could have made that decision right once I took my visit here, and I would have been completely fine with the decision I made.
True Aztec right there. Yeah. How was it to see Dutch in the crowd?
Yeah, no, that was cool. The Torrey Pines tournament, like the whole concept of it was cool. Like I was excited for that tournament the whole entire year, knowing that we were going to San Diego. Like
had that day
right once you get the little packet from your high school coach, like you getting ready for the tournaments and stuff. And I'm seeing San Diego. I'm already committed, so I'm like, oh, this is gonna be fun. Like my coach is gonna be there, future teammates are gonna be there, fans are gonna be there. So it's like, end of the day, it's just basketball and it's high school basketball, which is the most fun in my opinion. Like, you know, you just get to rock out. Everybody's messing with you, so it's like I knew it was gonna be a great situation to come here and just showcase and display what I can do in front of my future people, really. And the fans showing out was one of the biggest things. Like, after the game, you know, we had just won our first game, and I'm seeing people with San Diego State shirts on that are coming up to me like, "Yo, Miles, excited for you. Think it's gonna be fun here. Like, can't wait to get you here." Da 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 da. So it's like moments like that, you're always gonna be grateful for the decision you made. I'm like, oh, I made the perfect decision. Yeah. Like, I'm home basically. That's what I was feeling. Definitely.
So you get here to campus freshman year, expecting minutes. You know, coming in highly recruited, great ball handler. I think I heard around the street that right away, boom, 6'7", young kid. I think we're trying to make him into a point guard. You get that news. How do you go to that? Because did you run a lot of point in high school?
In high school, it's funny, like, which is why I feel like when I got here, I had to lock in on defense. Yeah. In high school, I would do the jump ball against the other team's 5, who I was going to be guarding that game.
Right.
Tip it back to a guard on our team, and then I would go get it, and we would run a play. So it's like a lot of times I was bringing the ball up the court. I was running point guard, but also guarding the 5 on the other team because I'm a tallest guy and I block shots and stuff like that. So that's where a lot of that shot blocking comes from, just playing the big and stuff. So, but like growing up, I've always told people my best asset of my game is my vision and just like my feel. Like I have a feel when someone's going to get open. So I lead them to that, or I see something before it happens. I see one of the defenders in the back slacking off. So I know I'm going to make the skip pass right here. So it's like a lot of it's just from watching the game, and that I definitely need to get my ball handling tighter. If I want to take that point guard role serious and maybe one day be a true point guard, ball handling's got to come first to me when I'm working out. And if I do that, I think I can for sure be a true point guard. But at this point in time in basketball, there's not even a reason to label yourself a point guard just because it's becoming more positionless basketball. So it's like, yes, I can run the point guard, but I can also guard their 3-man. So it's like I'm really a 1 through 3, and if they have a smaller 4-man, I could put me on the 4-man. So I'm leaning more towards positionless than I am point guard, but at the same time, yeah, I feel like I could play that role at an effective level.
Baby Jokic right there.
Baby Jokic. Except hopefully a little bit faster and athletic.
Yeah, right?
But yeah, no, I definitely want to accomplish what Jokic has done in his life.
Easily.
Yeah.
You touched on the shot blocking. I was going to mention that, bro, because watching you play this past season, because you got a lot more clock than your freshman year. I'd labeled you as the best shot blocker on the team. And a lot of people were like, oh, J. Pell, and you got LaD right there. But LaD wasn't really blocking a lot of shots. Most of yours was either from chase downs or just like obviously moving your feet, cutting them off, using that length. Because the defender wants to create space. You're still 6'7" and lengthy. So you having that nice little read for their moves and all that. But yeah, bro, your shot block was incredibly impressive, bro.
I think it was a mixture of who I was guarding and a mixture of feel. Like, one, if you're here, they're automatically going to preach defense. And part of our defense is help defense. So I've always been big on getting weak side blocks, coming over and blocking a shot when a big's contesting. They don't see me and I get a block, or chase down blocks. I just have good timing when it comes to getting blocks. And I think the game I got the most blocks in was New Mexico. And it's like New Mexico throws out a 6'1" guard. Generous saying 6'1". House is probably 6 foot. Mashburn is probably 6'2". And Dent's probably 6'2". So I'm guarding guys who are 4 to 5 inches shorter than me, who like to drive. Like Dent's primary driver, and Mashburn likes the mid-range shot. So like, just me being able to slide my feet and stay with them and the contest late is what I think leads to blocks like that. Like, I think I had 4 blocks here against them. So yeah, just being able to slide my feet against smaller guards and still get back and contest and time it up. Yeah, I think that was one of the keys to my success blocking shots. J. Powell is a phenomenal shot blocker, though.
Shout out to Jose game.
I don't know what his wingspan is, but it's probably 7'3", 7'4",
He's like 6'11",
somewhere around there. He probably is 6'9", but with like definitely a plus wingspan. And same with me. Like, I'm 6'6", 6'7", and I have like a 7-foot wingspan. So it's like my length is definitely one of the reasons why I get a lot of shot blocks and steals, like passing lane steals.
So we call J. Powell one of them the pogo sticks.
Yeah.
Definitely a pogo stick.
Yeah, definitely.
You can go up and get it for sure.
And it's weird, like, if you were to have him do like just a vert testing jump, he wouldn't look that athletic.
Okay.
But he's kind of like me in the sense where, like, if I see a ball in the air, it's automatically going to make me jump higher. Like, we were doing vert testing on Monday this week with all the new guys that just came in. And Coach Velasquez, Dave, he had said something to me about, like, yo, I've seen you jump way higher than that going up for a block shot. I was like, I might need you to go try to do a layup so I can get my vert a little bit higher for this thing. Then, like,
put a piece of tape on the
that's what I'm saying. Like, I got to see a goal if I want to jump high, you know?
Your freshman year, you came in, like I said earlier, expecting a lot of minutes, boom. But you get the news that Adam Seiko is coming back for his 6th year. Matt Bradley's coming back for his 5th year. A bunch of returners, you know. So I kind of set your minutes back a little bit, put you in a nice little, what I like to call the sponge seat, you know, just learning, observing everything, right? So how was that freshman year, you know, learning the lessons, you know, obviously practicing?
Every time I get asked this question, I say the same answer. I think that was one of my most beneficial years. Like, I had the same route kind of in high school, you know. I wanted to be on varsity my freshman year. That didn't happen. So I've always played like the waiting game. Like, I know in 2 or 3 years, I'm going to be 10 times better than where I am right now. So that freshman year, being able to sit back and relax and watch how they go about their game day routines and how they react to stuff that happens during the game, but still be able to compete with them every day in practice. I think that just made me 10 times the player I am. Like it just helped me. It just helped me out a lot. Being able to learn behind Seiko, who was in his 6th year and very experienced, and Matt Brad, who was on his 2nd school, 5th year, who's 1,000 career points at both schools he's played at. So I'm sitting behind straight dogs, like straight dudes that are gonna be remembered here forever. Like I think that year was just as beneficial as last year, in my opinion. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Why?
We went to the Final Four, like, and my dad. I just see my dad was on some podcast, and he had said that he's been in college basketball for 22 years or so, and he's never gotten close to reaching the Final Four. And I was about to say my first year in college basketball, I'm in the Final Four. 2nd year, I'm in the Sweet 16. So like, I've already done a lot of stuff that people dreamed of doing. So I'm forever grateful for that first year. You know, that might have been the most fun year basketball wise that I've ever had, and I didn't even step foot on the court.
Aside from obviously the Final Four. Well, I mean, if it is, you can mention that. But your favorite tournament game that freshman year?
Favorite tournament game freshman year, I would say, is the Furman game.
Okay.
Because
that's around a 32. Yeah.
I'd say the Furman game just because after we beat Charleston.
Yes.
I mean, it's tough though. Like we beat Alabama. Nobody believed we were going to beat Alabama. That was a great game. Like DT showed just where he from and the dog in him that game. Like he really showed out that game. Put the whole entire country on notice. Like, yo, we might be a non-Power 5 school, but we a Power 5 school. Like he put everybody on notice that game. But that Furman game was so cool. Because I got to see all my boys, like all my bench dogs go in. Like I seen Elijah and Cade and Jared subbing. Jared hits a 3. There's an iconic video after that game where Jared's putting on the thing. And for some reason, I don't know whose idea it was, but we had a speaker in there. And the time Antonio Brown made that song, Put That Shit On. So we doing this, the little dance to it, like, put that shit on. Red slaps it on the board. That was one of the most hyped I've ever been. Like, I might have been more hyped during that moment, knowing Red had just been on the court in March Madness and hit a big time 3 at the end of the game. Like, I was so excited for them. And at the time, I'm saving it because I'm trying to get redshirt year. So it's like, I'm not playing. So right when they come to sub in, I'm like, I'm not going to be able to sub in. Yeah. But being able to see them go on the court and all of them do what they did on the court during those last 2 minutes of the game, that was so exciting. And it just like really built momentum for that Alabama game, which is why I say that game was a little bit more than Alabama, just because nobody thought we were beating Alabama. We knew we were beating Alabama. Like when we had flown back to San Diego and we watched that first day of film and seen how they played and the type of shots that they were getting, we're like, well, we're never going to let them get those type of shots. So like, I don't think they have a chance to beat us. And we were really confident about that. So, and then right before the game, they didn't hit. Normally during the tournament, like both teams line up across after the national anthem. You go and shake hands with everybody. Yeah. They walk right by us. I was like, oh, we about to win this game. Cool. I love this. I was like, they don't know who they doing that to. Like we're not just some sorry team from California. Like we're San Diego State. Like we basically are one of the top 2 teams, top 3 teams in the West Coast, on the west side of the United States of America. Like we're a big time school. You guys might not know about us over there in the South, but like we're known. Like
y'all hear that?
I was about to say we're known. It's West Coast. Like this West Coast for real.
After that tremendous year, good run, gained all the accolades, gained all the spotlight from the San Diego State crowd, all the fans, literally the whole county, really.
Oh yeah, no. C was crazy coming back. I'm seeing videos after mine hit the game winner, and this street right here was blocked off. Like this intersection right here was blocked off. People were climbing on the light posts. People were getting their cars doing donuts in the middle of the intersection. Cops, firefighters, they were all out there. Nobody getting arrested either. So I was like, oh, that's how you know this. Right? So you know this green when nobody's getting in trouble for all this. Like, let's just start riot.
Bro, what? What was at the bar? Was that what was that? Nah. We're at some bar in PB, bro. Okay. Yeah. Champagne shower.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like I'm seeing videos. There's like a compilation of just like SDSU buzzer beater reactions where it's like people in San Diego at food spots, at the bars, on the beach, on campus. Like they had the little watch party on campus. All the football dudes have videos from that watch party where they're like, as soon as he hit it, can't even see anything. Too much shaking on the camera. Like, it was crazy. And it gives me goosebumps talking about it, really, because, like,
nah, he's not lying.
I'm about to say, it gives me goosebumps. Like, it's really like you dream of moments like that, and to be able to see, like, one of your brothers hit that shot and know what it's about to do to his name and stuff like that, it's crazy. Like, bro, living in real time, too. Like, we're in Houston. We're getting security escorts. They shut down the whole entire freeway for us. Like, that's hard. Nah, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy experience. And, like, I just hate that more and more people can't live that experience. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I'm forever grateful that we got to.
On the bench, you see AG get the stop. Mont take it down. What's like going through your mind right there? Down 1. Bro.
Me and E.
With a timeout left.
We had a timeout, but we already had we had called a timeout before we got to stop.
Right.
And Dutch said he's not calling a timeout.
Not putting subs in either.
Our plan was defense. We're putting all our top defenders on our team in the game right now. We're getting a stop. Mont, after you get this ball from Nate, who's gonna get the rebound, go downhill. I'm seeing Mont run on the wing. I'm like, you're supposed to go downhill. Like, what are you doing, Mont? I see him cut off. I'm like, get a shot. I didn't think he was going to get a shot off at first.
Another dribble.
The problem is we were like, the way the court is in the Final Four, like, it's lowered. So we're like knees on the stairs watching it, and we have the perfect angle. I'm pointing, like literally where that hoop is, that mini hoop. Yeah. That's where the side of the hoop. So we see the ball coming from the side. I hear Elijah say, that's butter. And like you can literally see all of us on the court before it went in.
Right. As soon as the buzzer on,
because we had the perfect angle. Like we had the side angle to where we could see that's either gonna miss short or this is gonna be a swish. So it's like we're either gonna sprint this court and hug everybody and like, yo, it's good. Like, look where we made it. Like, I love you. Da da da. Or we about to be doing a dog pound in the half court right now. So it's like we were gonna be on that court regardless. I'm just happy that we got to go celebrate it because it was really craziest moment ever.
Bro, talk about the stadium. That was in a football stadium.
And the problem is you couldn't hear a single thing.
At all, right? I'm assuming that. I'm like,
it was like, I forget what they call, like quiet, some silent noise or something like that. White noise, something like that. Yeah. Where it's like, it's so loud you don't hear anything. All I remember hearing, and it's weird, I hear my feet like on the court, like this little squeak. I'm hearing that while I'm running out to Mont instead of like the 80,000 people out in the stadium. I'm hearing that. Like, it was really one of the craziest moments of my life. Like, I maybe had the chills for the next 2 hours. We're still in the bus, and I'm still like, no way that just happened. No way that just happened. We're playing Blue Bucks Clan. Hey, that's really, hey, people who don't know, that's really our stuff, bro. I
was going to ask.
We was on live playing it on the speaker. And they joined the live. They joined the live. Yep. They doing the fire emojis. We're like, oh, we really made it. We thought we were the woods. Like, I was about to say, nah. They was really rocking with us during that run because we was rocking with them.
Walking in security, you ain't doing no pat down.
Walking in security, ain't doing no pat down.
Who was the first? Because bro, I was gonna ask DT this. I was gonna ask you this. Who put Blue Bucks on in the locker room? Who was the first person to put them on? Put y'all on.
I mean, we're all California kids, so
right. But that's real LA.
I'd say probably Red.
Yeah, makes sense.
Red was one of the go-to.
Makes sense.
Red was probably the one who put me on first, but like once you was put on, you was on it. Like I'm waiting for them to drop Clan 3. Me and Red going to In-N-Out just to do a little listening party in the car. Like we was on them so heavy. I'm still on. I mess with their music so heavy.
Nah, I still do.
Yeah, it was, and it's like knowing that they was messing with us. It's even harder to me. We swore they was about to drop a Lamont bar sometime. Like,
no, they dropped the San Diego State bar.
Yeah, San Diego State. I'm an Aztec. Yeah. We would play that all the time too.
Yep. Yeah. Fire in the booth, bro. I think the Alabama game I tweeted. Y'all were warming up, and I hear the music, and I think I tweeted. I was like, they played Blue Bucks.
Okay, yeah,
over.
Yeah. I do remember that tweet. Honestly, I think it was like San Diego State listening to Blue Bucks Clan during the it might have been like the practice before we played them or something, and we're playing it pre-practice in Louisville at the time. Mm-hmm. So we was rocking with them the whole entire time. We getting back to the hotel, and there's like boosters and fans in the lobby, and we're saying what's up. But like we're
Blue Bucks.
Big old speaker, like clans playing. Like, I don't know if you want to say what's up to us right now. We kind of slapping out. Like, they had came down to San Diego and had us at their concert. Like, we were backstage and got to be on stage with them. They gave us a little shout out while we were on stage and stuff. So, no, we had our cool little run-ins with them.
I think more San Diego State bars can come through.
Yeah, nah. They gotta get that Mont bar. I gotta hear that.
Gotta get Mont
something about a game winner. We thought it was gonna be like something about a game winner.
That's it. Inspired that whole ride.
Yeah, or like let them get a feature. Hardy Boys. Like, that. Come on. We ain't gonna say too much, but Hardy Boys X Clan. That would be hard.
We'll put a link out. Someone released. But after that amazing year, man, you head into your off season. You know, we lose Matt, Nate, Adam, AG. You know, basically all the old heads.
Yeah.
All the OGs of the team. You gained 15 pounds of muscle.
Yeah, I'm locked in. I was in the little student housing, the sophomore housing during the summer. Mm-hmm. Most people I went home because we get a break from when school ends, and then we don't start up till the start of July. Right. But I just knew it was most beneficial if I would stay out here, stay around the gym, keep working out with our coaches and stuff. So I lived in there from May till July by myself, basically. Right. I'm in there cooking meals all the time. I'm trying to gain weight.
Yeah, what's the diet looking like? What was that diet looking like?
I mean, I'm more of like I'm really good with breakfast. I love making breakfast, but I had a timer, and I think I told someone this before, but I had a timer. Every time I would finish my meal, I would set a timer for 2 hours and 45 minutes. And when that timer went up, it was time to make another meal. Just because I knew if I ate every 3 hours, I gotta gain weight. Yeah, right. There's no way I don't gain weight right now. That and protein shakes, and that just helped me out a lot. But still on that grind, still trying to put more weight on, still trying to maintain weight. You know, I struggle with that here and there. I fluctuate a lot. Like one day I'll be 190, one day I'll be 180, one day I'll be 185. Like I fluctuate. My weight fluctuates big time.
You'd be a hell of a UFC boxer.
Yeah, I was about to say I wouldn't have no problems with the weight gain, weight loss. No, I would never be a problem. Yeah, like that would never be an issue.
Man,
yeah.
Headed to your sophomore year, gain a lot more tick. LaD has his breakout All-American year. Mm-hmm. Come with Reese from SC. Another Pac-12 guy because Matt came from Cal. I'm like, come on, all the Pac-12.
All the Pac-12.
San Diego State.
You know who the real West Coast is.
Really?
Really? Number one in the
West
Coast is.
Now we know.
Exactly.
But talk to me about that sophomore year, bro. Like all the lessons you've learned from.
Sophomore year, I think was a very good year for me. I think you know, there was ups and downs. You know, since summer I was locked in. I was determined. I was like, I'm gonna make my name known. I'm gonna have a great year this year, and that's really what was pushing me to stay in San Diego that summer. And then, like everything else in life, like you can't control everything. And first game of the year against Fullerton, I'm playing defense. Dude crosses over. I switch my hips to make a cut him off defensively, and I tear my hip labrum.
That's how you walk off.
So I'm out for that game. I don't play at BYU. From this point, it's first and second game of the year, and I'm hurt. Like, and I have something torn. Like I had to go get an MRI and all that. So I was like really down. Like I don't know what's gonna be of this year. I don't know how healthy I'm gonna be this year. The last person who I knew I was doing some research, and Isaiah Thomas had a torn hip labrum, and he didn't really come back from it the same. AG had one, and you know AG's health problems his 4th and 5th year in San Diego State. He was always either not playing or not practicing.
So worry hits your mind.
So worry.
What
first thing, down? Just playing. You know, I was just like, I got a cortisone shot. First game back at GCU was my worst game of the year. I think I had a missed dunk where like I fall in front of their student section. Probably my most embarrassing thing in college that's happened so far. Like I get a steal, miss a dunk. I miss a few threes. I have like 2 back-to-back turnovers. Like I'm like, wow, like all my momentum I built up from the summer just left that game. Like I had my hair braided that game.
Yeah.
I get to the hotel, all of them gone. I'm like, I'm never doing that again. Yeah, I'm like, so that was just like a big old like, you never know what's coming. But just through playing and more games I got to check into, I think the game that really turned the corner was that Stanford game.
Okay.
I think I had like 8 points that Stanford game, hit 2 threes. Yeah. The Continental Tire event in Vegas was kind of good too. Yeah. Like I felt like I played well against Washington and St. Mary's, but it was really once we started getting in that long home stretch where nobody was really on campus, and I was just like in the crib, focused, not seeing anybody. Practice, home, sleep. Practice, home, sleep. Like in a very good headspace. I think that's when it kind of turned. And after that, like one thing about me is I feel like I could do a lot better in next play mentality situations. Like the highs are very high and the lows sometimes become way too low. Yeah. So in that situation, once I started playing high, I was like, okay, perfect. Like the highs are the highs. So I'm like, let's keep rolling. So that helped me out a lot. And I've been focused on that aspect of the game more, the mental part of the game, because like I feel like that's what I need more sharpening on, definitely. But this year was definitely beneficial. Finally being able to say I stepped foot on a college court and played. Playing against UConn, playing against all the 6 teams in our league that went to the tournament. Like we had a really good league this year, and I don't know if the league will ever be as good as it was this year. Like we had 6 teams go, and we had a 7th who, if they probably would have locked in a little bit earlier in the UNLV, they might have had a chance to go too.
They had a good run in the NIT.
Great run in NIT. They finished the year off really well, which just shows how good the league was itself. Yeah. So me being able to play through all the hardships I had this year. I had turf toe our first game of the league where I didn't even know turf toe was possible. I didn't even know what it was. Like I'm taking a step to go close out against Fresno, and I feel pop in my foot. I'm like, what the heck was that? I try to go take like 2 more steps. I'm like, whoa, like I can't step right now. What the heck is going on? Find out I have turf toe. Don't play the rest of that game. And I'm thinking it's going to be some big ordeal. Get cortisone in my foot. And I wasn't supposed to play the UNLV game because I hadn't really practiced.
Yeah.
Take some, I meet with Serge before the game. He gives me some meds. And like, I'm out there during warm-ups. So I'm like, whoa, like, I'm honestly not feeling too bad. Like, I'm not feeling too bad. And I ended up playing the UNLV game the very next day, or the very next game after the turf toe situation. Mm-hmm. So it's like, just being able to bounce back from stuff like that boosts morale as well. So, yeah, no, definitely learned a lot from this year. But I think it was beneficial in the long run as well.
As we said earlier from the pod, all the homies left.
Yeah.
You stayed true. Not that they didn't, but not to say it like that. But you stayed. I mean, you're the only one really with clock on your resume. It looks like you're heading into this leadership role.
Definitely.
You obviously gained a hell of a lot of fans. Like you're like a fan favorite for sure last year. I'm at every bar. I'm at the Nova at the New Mexico game.
Great food over there. Go to Nova if you haven't.
Fire food. Get that chicken bowl. Get the steak. They always get the steak.
The steak with the little asparagus and the mashed potatoes. Gotta go get you that.
And it's looking like you're getting to this leadership role. Did you get any advice? Have you reached out to, let's say, Matt Bradley, anybody that was like a leader throughout your years?
I think I did a good job of when they were here, just observing. And like, I feel like naturally my personality is like a leader. Like I've always been told that, like just the way I carry myself and the way I interact with people, like I'm a very caring person. I always think about what my words would affect somebody, how they might affect somebody. So like, I think naturally I'm a born leader. But can I lead when there's pressure on, and can I lead when things aren't going my way, is going to be something I'm going to have to get over. And
true test.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like, we're going to be a team full of transfers who have never been through our defensive offseason and stuff like that. A team full of freshmen and a team full of sophomores who were in the position I was in last year, where they felt like they could have played their freshman year, but it just didn't go that way. Right. So they're hungry. I feel like we have a great group for me to be able to step into that, because everybody's also buying into that. Like, we've been lifting together for maybe a week with the new guys, and you could already see it already the way that everybody's meshing well. So the leadership role is gonna take care of itself just by how I interact with everybody. And then I think in the long run, Reese as well. Like Reese naturally is probably more of a introverted person who probably if he didn't have to wouldn't. But Reese and me have talked and like we understand like we've played here, we know what it's like, so we have to take this next step as leaders to where we could help make the transition easier for guys like Nick and Wayne and Jared and even BJ, Taj, Pharaoh, Magoon who redshirted. So like there's going to be many opportunities for us to lead and show our leadership, and I'm excited for that. That's something I've been looking forward to all summer.
Yeah, you're not the only one, bro. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'll be there. Front row.
Yeah.
Give me some tickets. Now, on paper, you guys look really good, bro. I'm excited for y'all. This offseason is really going to be a true testament to see if y'all could either be last year's team or the year before. Saying that for the regular season and the behind the scenes for sure. To see what kind of team y'all are going to be. What culture vibe you're going to give to the new guys. So I'm excited to see that for sure, bro.
It's going to be fun.
Speaking about the offseason, I know you touched on working on ball handling.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Just my whole game.
Jumper pretty cool. Your jumper is kind of like you're tippy-toed.
Yeah, no, definitely. Really it's like I'd say probably my jumper while I'm dribbling, like off dribble jumpers, moving, slide my feet, like hitting tougher shots is definitely going to be something that I'm going to have to do next year. Yeah. This year my role was really like if I don't get something in transition, I'm hitting the catch and shoot three. Yeah. So it's like being able to come off a ball screen and if they're in drop, be able to hit a pull-up jumper and stuff like that. So I've been working on that, and then ball handling, your handle can never be too tight. Yeah. That's what I always tell myself. So definitely always focus on that. And part of my off-season stuff is really like working on leadership too, like trying to get the guys together. Like all pretty much everyone's on campus right now except for maybe 2 scholarship guys and maybe 2 or 3 walk-ons. So like we're all here. Something I'm working on is just getting everybody together. Like let's go get breakfast or something. Like stuff like that is definitely something I'm willing to do and have to focus on because it's a whole new group of guys and we're already being doubted by a lot of people. I've seen somebody saying that we're going to be 7th in the Mountain West. So it's like I know what this group is capable of, and that's something that we not going to just let go by. That's what I'm saying. We just let the noise be noise and really lock in together, and I think it'll all work out in the long run.
Super solid, bro. I'm excited for y'all.
Yeah.
You injured your foot recently?
I was in the boot. Yeah. I had went home and stepped on a foot in an open run and sprained my ankle. And
was it grade 2?
Yeah, it was like they gave me a boot and crutches, but the way I think my body works is just like ankle sprains aren't as bad as normal just because I'm a little bit lighter and stuff. Yeah, so it was one of those where it felt like the end of the world day 1, day 2. By the next week, I was already working out and getting treatment and stuff. So I bounced back from that pretty quick.
The ice, 20 minutes, be all right.
Yeah, definitely. No, my dad used to just throw a bunch of ice on me whenever I had like a little boo-boo and you good.
Yeah, that's a coach right there.
Yeah.
Well, man, I appreciate you for letting me pull up, bro.
Of course.
Before we get out of here, I always like to separate myself and give thanks to the good Lord above, brother. So I just want to pray for y'all in your season, bro. Dear Lord, I just want to thank you for getting here safely today, Lord. I ask that you get us home safely, dear Lord. Thank you for blessing me with Miles' time and giving us the opportunity to share his story and, give the fans behind the scenes and what true Aztec is. Lord, I pray for Miles' season as an individual and also as a team. Lord, look after this team. I ask for success and just good lessons and good morale in the locker room, dear Lord. I ask that you pray for Dutch as a lot of doubt has been coming to his name, but you know what kind of man he is and what kind of coach he is to these young men, dear Lord. It's bigger than basketball at the end of the day, and we give all your glory, dear Lord, and thank you for all that you've done and all that you will do. In your precious name, we pray.
Man,
appreciate it, Miles.
My dog.
Before we get out of here, bro, I got you a little
tea. I needed one of these. I seen it earlier. I was hoping it was mine.
Yeah, bro.
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
You, man. Yes,
Convos
sir.
with Kev, man. Tap in, dude.
All right, brother.
Yes, sir.
So we'll catch you next time on Convos with Kev. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. You have a blessed night.
Yes, sir.